Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to be doing a subscriber request. This will be a Q&A to celebrate 300 subscribers on the channel. I can't believe that we already have over 300 subscribers. I think we're in the 340s now. And it just absolutely blows my mind. You guys are amazing. And the subscriber who requested this Q&A wanted it to be soft-spoken, so here we are. And I have just a list of questions that you guys submitted under the community tab, and we'll just go through those. I'm gonna get to as many of them as I can, and we'll just go from there. So thank you if you are one of the people who submitted questions. I hope I'm able to get to your question. So I did take some notes in my notebook, and that's what I'll be referring to just so I can see what the questions were. So, question number 1, at Michelle Lauren Reads, they wanted to know, what are my top 5 books of 2024? So we're already in May. 2024 feels like forever ago. It feels like forever ago. So I did look back on my reviews on my Goodreads to see what I rated 5 stars and to see what books were my favorite. And what I came up with, these are in no particular order. Number 1, we have Flawless by Elsie Silver. Number 2 was Twisted Games, which I believe is the second book in the Twisted series by Anna Wong. Then we have Flock. That's the first book in the Ravenhood series by Kate Stewart. Then we have Beach Read by Emily Henry and Not in Love by Allie Hazelwood. Those were my favorites. So it was definitely a year of romance. All of those books were romance reads, and I just thoroughly enjoyed all of those. Next question. At Everyday ASMR asked, what are my favorite books from different genres? What book would I recommend to someone just starting a genre? So for classics, I would recommend The Secret Garden. Classics can be a bit daunting, and The Secret Garden was one that my mom read to me when I was a child. I also loved the movie when I was younger, and now I have recently read it as an adult. I actually have a video reading the first, I think 3 or 4 chapters on my channel as like a reading you to sleep, but I find that story very readable, very understandable, and just a lot of fun, very magical. If you're looking to get into romance, I would probably recommend just something simple, feel good, not too spicy, something that feels like a rom-com or a Hallmark movie. So maybe something like Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez would be a good place to start. Yeah, I like that one as like an intro to romance. If you're looking for your first spicy read, I would recommend anything by Sarah Kate. I recently read Gravity by Sarah Kate. I thought that was really good. She also wrote the Salacious Players Club series, which I also find really good. Super spicy. It has a lot of different tropes in the series. It has a lot of different types of romance. So not just MF. For romantasy, I have to go with Fourth Wing. That's my favorite romantasy book. That's my favorite book in general, and I will accept no criticisms on that book. Yeah, I want to like talk about it, but that's not what this video is for. Dystopian, if you're looking to get into dystopian, I would recommend maybe something like the Hunger Games trilogy, which now has 2 spin-off books as well. Sunrise on the Reaping recently came out, but Hunger Games is a dystopian series that's not too hard to understand. It's super easy to get into. It's very bingeable, and I think it's just a great place to start with the genre. And I love that there are movie adaptations of it as well. And then for nonfiction, I don't read a lot of nonfiction, but I love the book Untamed. It's by Glennon Doyle. You might be familiar with Glennon Doyle from her podcast. She's also married to Abby Wambach, who was like a professional soccer player. But anyways, that book changed my life and helped give me the courage to make a really hard decision in my life about 4 years ago, and I don't know where I would be if I had not read it. So it's kind of self-helpy, but it's also just kind of like things that she went through in her life, and then she kind of gives advice on how you could apply it to yours. I don't know. I love that book. I think everyone should read it, especially if you're a woman. I don't really read any other genres than that. I mean, I'm just now getting into thriller. I recently read The Inmate by Frida McFadden. I thought that was fantastic, and I did not see the plot twist coming. So if you're looking to get into thriller, maybe you could try that. At Jessica Allard 9453, she asked me what type of nursing do I do and how do I find time to read. So for those of you who don't know, I am a registered nurse. I've been a nurse for about 8 years now, and I have worked in the NICU since I graduated nursing school. NICU, N-I-C-U, stands for Neonatal Intensive Care Unit. So I work with the little babies. And sometimes big babies, but I take care of babies that were born too early as 22 weeks. And we also take care of big babies who maybe had a hard time during the delivery and had some complications. It's my passion. I love it. I feel very fortunate to be in that job. As far as reading while being a nurse, I do work on night shift, and I work 3 nights a week. So on my days off, I have a lot of time to read. On my days off. I am a mom as well, but my son, he's usually okay with me doing some reading while we're hanging out together. And while I'm at work, in the NICU, I normally only have 2 or 3 patients at a time, sometimes 1 patient if they're very, very, very sick. But, some nurses that work on like a med-surg unit or like a step-down unit, they could have like, 6 or more patients. And if you worked on a floor like that, no, there's not going to be any time to read. But because I only normally have 2 or 3 patients, normally I do have time to read in between taking care of the babies. I do have a lot of downtime because they need as much sleep as they can get. And the more that we're able to leave them alone and let them rest, the better they do. So just kind of get in, get what I need to do done, and get out and let them rest. And I always have a book with me at work. At Anthony J6H asked, what got me interested in ASMR? So I've been a fan of ASMR for a really long time. I would say at least, I mean, I remember experiencing ASMR from a very young age, but obviously I didn't know that that was what it was called. But in college and after college, I relied on ASMR a lot to help with my anxiety, especially like in nursing school and then being a new nurse. It really, really, really helped me. Like, not to get too deep, but I mean, I just don't know where I would be without it because it got me through so many tough nights. It helped me fall asleep when I couldn't turn my mind off. Some of my favorite ASMR artists, I mean, I've been watching for a long time. I love the twin sisters, Grace V and Mads ASMR. I think they're both amazing. I love Haley Jean ASMR. I've spoken about her a couple times on the channel before. I love ASMR for everyone. She is so sweet and so kind, and she's been watching some of my videos recently, and it's just like, I can't believe it. Those are a few of my favorites. Alexandria ASMR, I think that she's fantastic. There are so many, but those are a few of my favorites. My favorite type of ASMR to film, it's probably like a book haul because it's just like mindless. I don't have to think about it. Just stack my books up and show you guys. I love showing off the books that I found recently, and I think that book triggers are so tingly, 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 tingly. And so anytime I get new books, I'm like, I have to show my friends on YouTube what I got. My favorite ASMR to watch would be personal attention. Personal attention. I love like visual triggers. I love those videos that are like follow the instructions, where they're like, look here, look here, look here, look here. Like, I like those type of videos. And then also like bookish ASMR videos similar to what I make, I also enjoy to watch. Anthony also asked any advice for my first tattoo, and do I have any tattoos on my ankle. So I went with a friend once to get an ankle tattoo, and it is a painful place to get a tattoo, but she did okay. It was her first tattoo. She did not cry. I think when they were like right up against the bone, like she squeezed my hand really hard. So maybe bring somebody with you that will hold your hand. I got my first tattoo and my only tattoo for now a couple Mother's Days ago, and let me see if I can put the mic down to show you. So it's right, see, it's gonna be upside down. How can I show you this? Yeah, so it's upside down, but this is my son's birth flower, a rose. And then this is actually like the silhouette of his side profile. So that's like his little eye, his nose, and his mouth. It's hard to tell, like, unless it were the other way. But that was the tattoo that I got. My partner set up for me to get that tattoo for my first Mother's Day, and that's exactly what I wanted. I absolutely love it, and it did not hurt too bad, and I think I will be getting another one soon. I have a few ideas. I'm not sure the location yet though. At New Year, New You 23, they wanted to know what is my biggest achievement in life. My biggest achievement in life is becoming a mother. I always wanted to be a mother. I struggled to get pregnant in the past, and dealt with some infertility struggles, and I did not know if it would be a reality for me for a long time. It was really hard to take care of other people's babies in the NICU and just like yearn to have my own. So the day my son was born was the best day of my life, and every day since has just been pure magic with him. So I feel like I was put on this earth to be a mother, and I'm just so grateful that the universe gave that to me. And I don't take it for granted. I don't take him for granted. He is such a gift and so special. I try not to talk about him too much because, he didn't ask to be on YouTube, and I want to respect his privacy. But he is my world, and I'm so proud of him. Big plans for 2025. I'm going to the beach in a couple weeks. I'm really excited for that. It's going to be like a big extended family trip. So I'm looking forward to that. I haven't been to the beach in a while. I'm working on my nursing certification currently. So I'm working on becoming NICU certified and extremely low birth weight certified. So these will just be like some extra credentials, some extra letters behind my name. I feel like I've been a nurse for almost 8 years in the NICU, so it's long overdue. I'm trying to think what else. That's mainly it. My son is going to be starting school in the fall, so I'm like terrified. I'm like, he's been home with me his whole life, and I'm scared, but that's big for me. Like, that's a really big thing that's happening in 2025. Have I gotten my wisdom teeth removed? No, but I need to. I was supposed to get them removed when I was like 17, and I went with my dad to see the oral surgeon, and then the night before the appointment to get them out, I made my dad call and cancel because my anxiety was so bad. And I convinced my dad, I'm like, Dad, we don't have to do this. This isn't necessary. Like, they just want to take your money. Like, I convinced my dad that, like, I didn't need to go. And so he's like, okay. So he called and canceled. And now I'm 31. And one of them on the left side on the top is starting to try to come down. And it hurts really bad. It hurts really bad. And it's growing in like crooked. But you guys, even though I'm a nurse, that's like one of my biggest fears is going under anesthesia, being put to sleep. I know you can do it awake, but I'm a baby, so that's not an option. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't have any advice for you because I'm terrified to do it myself. So if anyone has any well wishes for me or this subscriber, like if anyone can tell us, like, don't worry, it's no big deal, like leave the comments down below, because I think I'm gonna have to make my appointment soon, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. Favorite TV shows? You guys, ever since I got back into reading, I have not watched a lot of TV. I think that's how I'm able to read so much, is because that's really all I do in my spare time. But back when I did watch TV, I really enjoyed to watch Criminal Minds, Grey's Anatomy. I used to love like Vampire Diaries. I thought that was so good. Trying to think what else. That's all that's coming to my mind right now. Favorite authors? Rebecca Yarros. Do friends and family know about my channel? Some of them do. So I used to have a channel many years ago, like probably 4 or 5 years ago, and I did ASMR. And I did not tell a soul. Like, even my partner at the time, He like knew I had a YouTube, but I wouldn't tell him my channel. He didn't know what it was about. And it was a horrible feeling to be like hiding. And so when I made this channel, I told myself I wouldn't do that. So some of my friends do know, but it's not something that I like walk around advertising. I think I told my mom, but I haven't told anyone else in my family because they haven't asked and I just don't think it's necessary. But some of my friends do know, some of them are subscribed, and I think, if you're interested in starting a channel, like my advice to you is just to own it. People are going to think you're weird that you post videos on YouTube, especially if you're doing ASMR, but you just have to decide like that you don't care and that this is fun to you and this is meaningful to you, and the people who truly love you and who are meant to be in your life will support you no matter what. And I have not had anyone make like a negative comment to me about it that has found out in my real life. Like everyone, they've just been so supportive and so sweet. So I wish I could go back in time and do that with my first channel, and maybe I would still be on that channel. But yeah, I think it just comes with growing and maturing. Like 5 years ago, I just wasn't ready yet. My favorite school subject was like language arts or writing. I hated math, I hated science, and it's funny because now I'm a nurse. But I'm not a nurse because I love math and science. I'm a nurse because I love helping people. Have I seen any bands? I have seen a good amount of bands. I'm a 90s baby, so my first concert, it was either Britney Spears or NSYNC. But like back in the day, I got to see, my mom was like a big like pop girly, like boy band girly, like it's in my blood. We saw NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, Pink. I'm trying to think who else. Those are like the ones I saw when I was younger. And then when I was a teenager, I am blessed to be born in the same year as Harry Styles. So I got to grow up listening to One Direction and being the same age as them when they were in the band. And so I saw One Direction. I've seen all of the guys other than Zayn perform as like solo artists. I've been to a lot of like music festivals and things like that have like multiple artists performing at once. But like my fangirl stage, my fangirl era that I spent the most time in was One Direction. And Niall was my favorite. I was a Niall girl, which I feel like Niall girls are rare. But I just found his personality like very, very infectious. And I still love them all. What do you look for in a friend? It's hard making friends in your 30s. It's hard making friends in your 20s. I would rather have a few really, really quality friends than a large quantity of friends, but the relationship is like superficial and not very meaningful and not very trustworthy. So I think for a friend, you want somebody who's kind. You want somebody who is empathetic. And for me, I want a friend that understands that, sometimes I'm going to have things going on in my life where I need to kind of check out for a minute. Sometimes in life I only have the capacity to like be there for my son and my partner and myself, and I just have to kind of like take a step back. And I like friends who can understand that life happens and they can give me that space and that grace when I'm going through things, especially as someone who suffers from mental health issues. I like a friend who can sometimes give me space, but know that when we touch base again, like we can just pick up right where we left off. I like a friend who likes to have deep conversations. I don't like to talk about superficial things. I like to talk about deep, deep things like, what are your biggest fears? What is the meaning of life? What happens when we die? Like, I like to talk about really deep things, and I like friends that will have those like existential conversations with me. I like someone that's trustworthy. That's very important. Trust in a friendship is very, very important. Does pineapple belong on pizza? Yes. Next question. At Taylor CX3VB. Do I play any video games? Currently not really. I do have a Switch and I have some games on my PC. I like cozy gaming, so I like games like Animal Crossing, Stardew Valley, like those type of games. I like cozy mystery games. When I was younger, I would play Nancy Drew on the computer and I loved it. I would like to get back into it and try to find more games like as an adult that I would enjoy. Because when I was younger, I did play a lot of like Mario Kart and things like that, but I just haven't had the time, and I decided my hobby was going to be books, and it takes up all my time. Why did you start a channel? I really just kind of lost myself in being a mother for a while, and I wanted to do something for me. And I missed the channel that I had before. I missed the sense of purpose it gave me. I missed the connections that I made there. And I found that like making videos and connecting with people online was really good for my mental health. And so I needed a hobby. I needed to do something. And I was reading more books. I wanted a place to talk about it. So that's the main reason why I started the channel. What countries do you want to visit? Well, I haven't really traveled a lot out of the country. I want to see it all. I would love to go to England. I would love to go to Ireland. I've been on a few cruises to like tropical places. I have been to Hawaii, but that's technically still the US, even though it doesn't feel like it. Yeah, I want to travel, but I just haven't been able to really because money and having a baby and, my son, he has some special needs, and so like routine and consistency is really important for him. I don't know how traveling like on a long plane ride, I don't know how he would do with that. And I don't really feel comfortable leaving him now, like maybe when he's older. But yeah, I would love to travel more and see what's out there. Do I have any pets? I have 2 cats. They're named after the Game of Thrones sisters. So we have Arya and Sansa. I'm actually a dog person. I don't dislike cats. I love my cats, but I used to have dogs. And I lost my dogs. Well, how do I say this? I went through a really bad breakup, and the dogs stayed with that person. It broke my heart into a million pieces, and I've never really recovered. But my partner that I'm with now loves cats, and so we got these cats together. They're sisters. They sometimes show up in my videos, knocking over all my stuff and climbing on my bookshelves. I like them. It's just like it's a very different relationship than I had with my dogs, and I don't know that that I will ever be ready to have another dog. I've thought thought about maybe getting my son like a therapy dog or like an emotional support dog or something down the line when he's a bit older, but I don't have the backyard for it currently. So yeah, what are my favorite foods? I love carbs, pasta, pizza. Yeah, that's mainly it. What's my biggest pet peeve? I have a lot of pet peeves, but currently my biggest pet peeve is unsolicited parenting advice. So if you're a parent, you will know what I mean. Like when someone tries to tell you, maybe you're like venting about something to do with your child. And someone's like, oh, this is what you need to do. It's like, I didn't ask. Like, if I want advice, I would say, hey, do you have any advice? What should I do? But if I'm just like talking about a situation, like I don't appreciate unsolicited parenting advice. That drives me crazy. How would my friends describe me? I think my friends would describe me as loving and funny. I'm like that person that's funny just because of how chaotic I am. Like, I don't think I have a sense of humor. I just am pure chaos, and I never have my shit together, like ever. I don't know how old you have to be to like feel like you have your shit together, but I feel like I'm regressing. Like I feel like I was more together when I was a teenager, when I was 16 years old, than I am now at 31. Like I can't get my shit together. It might seem like sometimes that I do, but I don't. And my best friends know that I don't. I think I have undiagnosed ADHD, so I'm just like very, all over the place. And they have to text me and remind me like, hey, don't forget, like we're doing this or we're gonna meet here. And like, if I don't get those reminders, I'm not showing up. Like genuinely. I'm just chaotic. I'm just Hot Mess Express. I wear a badge reel at work and that's what it says, Hot Mess Express. At the Reading Retriever wanted to know if I could own a first edition of a book, what would it be? I thought about this a lot and I don't know. Maybe like one of the books from my childhood. So, my mom read to me a lot as a child. So maybe one of those. Like she read to me like Wizard of Oz, Dorothy of Oz. She read to me Harry Potter when I was a little girl, like before I could even read myself. Charlotte's Web, like things like this that she read to me when I was really young. I think it would be cool because those books are like a core memory for me. And this subscriber also asked me if I could have dinner or like a meal with an author that is no longer with us, who would I choose? This was also hard for me because I feel like I mostly read more like contemporary authors who are still with us. So again, like maybe someone that wrote something that I read during my childhood. So maybe like Lewis Carroll, who wrote The Adventures of Alice in Wonderland. Maybe like Agatha Christie, because she writes such good like murder mysteries, and I read some of them in high school, and I've read some of them again more recently, and I would love to ask her like what it was like to write mystery during that time period. But yeah, those questions were so hard and I just stared at them for the longest time. I almost did not answer them on this video, but I feel like I wanted to acknowledge that you sent in questions and do my best to answer them. So So I would love to know, what is your answer to that question? So if you guys have an answer to that question, leave it down below. Who would you like to have dinner with? An author who's no longer with us. Who would it be? Who would it be? That's a great question. But that is all of the questions that were submitted for this 300 subscriber special. I want to thank you guys for watching. If you happen to be watching and you're not subscribed, if you want to click on the subscribe button, it would mean a lot to me to have your support on the channel. I do have a second channel now where I post only ASMR content. So if you enjoy ASMR content, if you like bookish ASMR, and if you would like to see me do some other types of ASMR, that channel is at Mads Reads ASMR. So it's the same channel name as this, just with ASMR on the end, and I would love to see you guys over there too. So I hope that you have a great day. This was a lot of fun. Thanks again for 300 subscribers. It means the world to me. This past 5 months has been so much fun getting to know all of you guys and making friends and talking about books, and I can't wait to see what the rest of the year brings for the channel. So I hope you have a great day or evening wherever you are watching from, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. See you in the next one.